Hello and welcome to Decoding the New Economy. I'm Paul Wallbank and today I'm joined by Rony Kahan, the founder and CEO of Indeed.com. Rony, thank you very much for joining us. I'm really interested in Indeed and how you came about this. So if we can kick off by the story behind Indeed, how you came up with the idea.
Sure. So before Indeed, I ran a job site with my co-founder, Paul Forster, and it was focused on finance professionals. And we grew that to be the #1 job site for finance professionals in the United States. We started in '98, we sold it in '03. And then it was 2004, and we wanted to start another business together. And 2004 is when Google went public. I don't know if you remember.
Right.
And it was kind of a really big time for search. And we said, you know, what we'll do is we're going to apply the search model to the job space. So that's basically what we did. Before we launched, there was no really vertical search for classifieds businesses before. There weren't, vertical search for houses or things like that. Mm-hmm. So we said we're going to apply the search model to the job space. So that's what we did. So we go out and we pull jobs from wherever we can find them. We've got millions and millions of jobs from hundreds of thousands of different sources. Pull it all into one place and provide an easy way for job seekers to do a search across all those jobs. And they do a search on Indeed.
Yeah.
When they get a relevant set of jobs that match their results, and then they click it, and then we send it to wherever we found the job.
Right.
So it's kind of a true search engine model as opposed to a typical job board, which only shows jobs that they're being paid for, and then you kind of stay within that, one job site.
Right. And how do the other job search sites find this? Are they happy to have you crawling those sites?
So outside of, in the United States, for example, we have all the major job boards are included on Indeed, and in fact, we're probably their largest source of traffic because we provide a lot of free traffic. And they're also advertisers with Indeed. So although we do compete for the job seeker, we do partner with these job boards in many ways.
Right. And so your model is that you're advertising on Indeed, or are you charging the candidates or advertisers?
We definitely do not charge the candidates.
Right.
So most job boards are very focused on the employers because that's where they get their money. When we launched Indeed, we decided that we're only going to focus on the job seeker. So everything we do at Indeed is to focus on the job seeker, provide the best job search experience. And charging job seekers would definitely not be the best job search experience.
Right.
So we focus on the job seeker, and we try to make sure they have the most relevant results. And we show them a list of jobs sorted in what will be the best match for them, not based on who paid us. And that's the bulk of the results that they get, like 10. And then at the very top, the very bottom, we have what's called a sponsored section. And that's where companies can sponsor jobs from their site, or job boards can sponsor their jobs. And those are done with the pay-per-click, pay-for-performance model, which is very similar to the way the Google AdWords model works. So most of our traffic is free that we send to job boards and companies, but if they want additional visibility, they can pay on a pay-per-click basis.
Right. Now you're operating not just in English-speaking languages, but around the world.
Yes, so at Indeed we're in over 50 countries, 28 languages around the world. Yeah.
How do you find it in those non-English speaking markets? I'm particularly thinking the East Asian markets where you're dealing in Thai or Chinese or whichever local language.
It's challenging. So the way we solved that was we hire natives from every country to manage each country. So we have a country manager for all of our major markets, and they're native speakers, so they focus on ensuring that we have top quality jobs. We go and pull the jobs from all the relevant places, and then work on relevancy and product issues that are specific to that country. So, and regardless of whether there's a language problem or a language difference, there's always something specific about the local market. So, for example, in Australia, some of the things that are different in Australia are you have FIFO jobs, fly in, fly out.
Yep.
Right? That term doesn't really exist outside of Australia. Sure. It's actually an accounting term, which means first in, first out.
Exactly.
So we need to understand that FIFO, when people search on FIFO, they mean fly in, fly out, and we can turn results relevant to them. Another example is the casual jobs. Casual jobs are unique to Australia. No one refers to those types of jobs as casual jobs outside of Australia.
Right.
So only in Australia we have the ability to refine your search by casual jobs. So, and that's something that actually we see a big trend in now. In Australia, it seems to be on the upswing, the number of casual jobs available.
Right. Well, just on the Australian side of things, so you're seeing casualisation there. How are you seeing the various geographical trends in the different states?
Yeah, good question. So in Western Australia, I think we had a lot of strong job growth in the past, but we've actually seen some softness lately, the past 6 to 12 months. And so fewer jobs there. However, job seekers are searching more and more there. So that means that more people are looking for jobs in Western Australia. So we track something called searches per capita, which means like how heavy job seekers are actively looking in a particular city. And Perth is kind of where things are going in the wrong direction there.
Right. Now, it strikes me too with all of this, you've got a fairly unique big data play on this by aggregating all the various searches and jobs being offered as well. So are you doing much in that space?
We do actually. We put out a lot of reports on this. We provide tools to drill down and see kind of which jobs are popular where and how that works.
Yeah.
We collect, in Australia alone, we pull jobs from 6,500 different places.
Right.
And put into one place. So we have 130,000 jobs in Australia, and that does give us a little bit of insight into the market. And we try to use this to the first thing we use it for is to improve the job search experience. Make sure that it's working correct for them and we understand what they're doing, what they're looking for. And then in addition to that, we provide different studies on the marketplace.
Yeah. Now, you've had a very interesting journey in getting this business up and running. Before this, you had another recruitment company.
Yes, Jobs in the Money. So we started that, my co-founder of Indeed, Paul Forster, we started Jobs in the Money together in 1998. Paul and I had met at business school, and it was the internet rush of 1998. I don't know if you remember that time in the States, and we were trying to decide, what should we do in this marketplace? And Paul was working for the International Finance Corporation, and one day he came back and we were talking, and he was like, I just went through 500 resumes by hand. There's got to be a better way to do it. So that pretty much started down this path of looking and seeing what are the solutions for the recruitment market, and we came up with Jobs in the Money, which was there was no other really dominant finance job site at the time, so we started that. And then we just kind of continued on that vein once we learned more about the industry and started Indeed in 2004.
Yeah, and you had a successful exit out of Jobs in the Money.
We did. So we sold it in 2003 to the #1 job site for finance professionals in Europe that wanted to enter the U.S. market.
Yeah.
And then we used the money we made from that to launch Indeed. And then we grew that. And today, Indeed is in over 50 countries, 28 languages. We have over 100 million unique visitors globally. And continue to grow.
So where do you see the future of recruitment going? It seems that it's an industry that's really been shaken up in ways that the recruiters themselves probably don't understand, with LinkedIn and those various social sites coming in. Where do you see all of it going? Yeah,
so I think LinkedIn has done a good job with kind of the resume database aspect, and certainly for the professional job seeker. So I think that has been an important trend that's been going on for quite a few years. In the U.S., it's been going on for a little bit longer than outside the U.S. Certainly, pay for performance is something that employers look for. Actually, all advertisers in kind of all fields are looking for pay for performance, and it's proven very, great in the job space, because when you post a job for $300 or $400, you don't know if you're going to get one application or 100 applications. Sure. But if it's pay per click, then you only pay for whatever you get. And I think we see more and more of that. In the U.S., for example, over half of the job searches in the United States are done on Indeed.
Right.
And we're responsible for more jobs, more hires than any other job board in the United States.
That's pretty impressive there. And how are you finding that overseas in markets, say, Europe, East Asia, Australasia?
So we're seeing the same trend. A job search experience is definitely superior for the job seeker.
Right.
And that is kind of, our product, that's pretty much what we do in every market. It's almost the exact same product from a user interface perspective. What's different is the relevancy algorithms for each market.
Yeah.